I think, again, it's hard for me to come up with one thing, but I think I get, like, broadly speaking, it's just what has happened over the past 5 years that I was given the opportunity to be a part of this project, this long-term project that's going to wrap up this July, but around community organizing and building community capacity for food systems. So I think the fact that through that, just seeing the work that we're doing really expand and have a ripple effect. Yeah, I don't think that I could pick out one piece of that I think is the most successful, but I think all of those combined, the fact that the city is now, hopefully going to start a food policy council, and that the mayor talked about that in his State of the City address, like that was certainly there was great support within the mayor's staff, one person in particular, but reaching out and getting guidance on that, like things that I don't think would have been here 5 years ago. Right. Yeah, there's more women. So all of us, the way that the Nutrition Center is set up is there's a director, and then there's 3 of us who are directors of different things, and then a business manager and a communications coordinator. So all of those are kind of the staff of the Nutrition Center, and we're all women. And then within study teams or evaluation teams, there's men represented. I don't think that I've been trying to think about that, and and maybe I'm just naive to an experience that I had and that I didn't recognize it, but I think I'm have been trained to be really critical about situations and really think about them and understand where they're coming from. So with me personally, and maybe part of that is because, I don't have children, so that of course is why women are also greatly impacted in the workplace, and that just hasn't happened for me up to this point. But I think, again, thinking about social work in general and the fact that that is a predominantly female profession, and that social workers, generally speaking, are paid very poorly. Right. I think that, again, I don't know that I would say I've been really fortunate and partially out of being assertive to, I think, make a decent amount of money right. Compared to other social workers. But I don't think that, and that's what I was talking to my students about, is like, you're doing, a lot of pay is set on what the professional pay rate is. Right. So the more that women in social work accept a lower rate of pay, it's hurting the entire profession. There's that ripple effect. So, that's where it's hard to ask for more money. It is hard for me to be assertive. I had to really learn that. Right. But I think finding courage in the fact that it's not about me at the end of the day. Right. It's not about the individual. It's about our profession does a really poor job of advocating and really demonstrating our value. And that a lot of times it's presented of, oh, well, I just like to help people, and I don't, and that's just not what it is. Right. It's really not what the profession is about. So, well, I think as we're observing right now, and as always the way that it goes with power and different groups of people, is that, things were moving in a more equitable direction under the last presidential administration, and so, of course, those are the issues that now are coming to bear that, the current administration is trying to push back against once again. So in terms of a professor who's now a dear friend of mine, who has since moved to Ohio, but Darcy, her name is Darcy Friedman, but she's the one who, she came to come interview for a faculty position I guess it was my first year of grad school, and so I met with her. She wanted to meet with some students, so I ended up being one of those students who met with her, and then she gave a talk, as part of her process. And so what she was talking about was work that she had done around community gardening and youth, leadership development in that. And that was a really big, there's multiple moments in my life leading up to that there were kind of those moments that were pretty pivotal for me that
Right.
led me to then eventually do the kind of stuff I do. But that was a really big moment for me because I'd been interested before in nutrition, and that's what I went to undergrad at Virginia Tech, and I originally started as a dietetics major and then close to failed chemistry my first semester, so ended up changing. But it was a way to like really see kind of that interest converge with social work. So she became a tremendous mentor for me, and even now living in Ohio continues to serve in that role. I think, I'm pretty sure she told, I mean, I've always done this since, or always given this advice to interns that I work with and students since then, but is around finding that mentor, because you might not find that within your workplace. And I think having that support and somebody to talk through things and to encourage you and all of that is really important. So I think
That's awesome.
in terms of a mentorship thing, and I think people are sometimes people think they're not sure exactly the best person to ask to be a mentor because that doesn't naturally come to surface. And so I tell people that think of somebody that you just respect, and they'll likely be flattered for you to ask them to play that role for you. So day to day, I don't have a clearly defined role within the program. Yeah. It's more of being an advocate for it and helping the people who are integrally involved in the day to day kind of make connections or just talk things through. So I had Beverly who nominated me, was the one who nominated me for this. We met this morning just to kind of do updates and talk about things and get advice and all of that. So, and I usually am the one who then, because it's a lot of times our master's in social work students who do internships with the program, so then supervise them. But yeah, I guess kind of give that, some help, guide, direction of the program and think through challenges.